Hey guys, Lightning Ripper here, and today I'll be on a slight detour talking about why exactly I'm pursuing a career in video game development. Reason being that I was recently given an advertisement for a video and photo competition for the computer science division of my college. I could easily just take a selfie in front of something computer science-y or make one of those slideshow videos, but I want to go the extra mile and make something with a bit more effort than what this competition asks for. So here are 3 reasons why I want to be a video game developer. I figure we might as well start with a smaller reason and build up to bigger ones, so let's start here. Video games are something that I've been fascinated with ever since I was young. My video game exposure as a kid was pretty minimal, given that I mostly played some point-and-click games and sports games on PC before I turned 7 years old and played games like Pokemon Leaf Green and Star Wars Battlefront, and from there, my interest in gaming started to rise. I wondered about all the work that went into creating maps that made you feel like you were playing in the Star Wars universe, given that I was a relatively new Star Wars fan at the time, and all the work that went into creating each Pokemon game, since prior to playing Leaf Green for the first time, my knowledge about the series was with the cards and the anime. And as time went on, I was introduced to a lot more games that only made me more intrigued. Flash forward to my college years where I started learning about the processes it takes to create games like these, and learning how exactly the engines they run on function. Not to mention, I was sort of teaching myself a thing or two about development thanks to the likes of RPG Maker, even if it doesn't require much coding unless you want to do something really special. But overall, I'd say the really intricate things people can do with gaming engines and programming languages are what really got me interested in learning how they can accomplish what they have. Now, as someone who grew up with a ton of different movies in child years, I've been slowly noticing similarities between them and video games, in that they try to portray a particular experience that tries to appeal to the general audience, with factors that they can share like an interesting story and memorable characters. But in the case of video games, they try to combine those factors with overall solid gameplay that the specific genre is known for. Oh, don't get me wrong, there are some games that just try to be fun games and nothing more, but a lot of them, especially nowadays, legitimately try to create a feel like you're watching a movie as well as playing a good game to go along with it. Heck, some go the extra mile and try to go for more of a movie feeling rather than a game feeling, and in most cases, that really intrigued me. It must have required a lot of work to create the cinematic atmosphere and build an experience that you're in control of. This has been the case ever since the PS1 days, and I just want to know how exactly this is pulled off. On that note, I should go over the biggest reason as to why I want to become a video game developer in the first place. I can come up with some really ridiculous things in my mind, and I believe that video games can be the best form of media to express them. I ain't joshing you. I can come up with some things like crossovers that I know are going to happen, or a franchise I love getting some sort of treatment in the gaming world. And look at just how much game developers can create on screen, whether it be a fun stroll on a platformer, to actually creating a story that can be emotionally investing, to just being completely absurd and impossible to take seriously to the point where it becomes entertaining, just as to my point of how games can be a big place where the imagination can run wild. A ton of developers have their own motivations for making games, but one thing they all have is that they want to create whatever is in their heads into an interactive experience, and I'm pretty much the same way. I want to let the ideas in my head run wild, and I have loved games ever since the age of 7. That's why I'm taking computer classes right now. May not be easy, but I'm sure the career will be well worth the effort I'm willing to put forth.